me now. Okay, Meli, welcome. Welcome once more to this lesson. Remember that my name is Diego. And today we are having the Basic 2, Week 11.1. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, my dear. So, well, what are we going to do today, my dear Meli? The idea today is to learn how to talk about imaginary situations and possible consequences. Okay? That's what we are going to do today. All right? Well, Meli, I have a question for you. What do you think, or how do you think we can talk about an imaginary situation? How can we make
Mm,
it?
Maybe hypothetical situations.
That's great. Okay, I'm going to give you a clue by doing our warming up. Okay, here is a
Okay.
clock. Here, there's a clock. So here we go. Look at this. The idea is that you try to complete it, but if not necessary, if you have it correct. Okay, just try to do your best. All right. Okay. Well,
Okay.
so what do you think is the answer here?
Hap.
This one? Okay, let's check. No, don't worry, Meli. Let's check the next one. Okay, how about this one? If I won the lottery, I.
I would buy.
That's perfect. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so now, Meli, if you would go to the doctor immediately. Meli.
If I was.
If I was, no, Meli. Don't worry, I'm going to explain that later. All right? Okay, Meli, how about this one? What would you do if you
If you find.
find? No, no, Meli, no. Don't worry, don't worry. Look at this. If I, so Meli,
I won.
if I won. Oh no, Meli. Don't worry, don't worry. Okay, remember that we are talking about hypothetical situations. Don't worry, we are going to do the same activity at the end, okay? All right. If I were not busy,
I would go.
excellent, the would, right? Okay, so maybe here, if I were you,
I could tell.
oh, I would. If I were you, I would. Okay, here, Meli, what would you see the question? Look at it. What would you? What would you do
Be.
if you saw?
See.
Okay, that's perfect, Meli. Yes, that's really good. Okay, this one, Meli. If
Be.
I had, that's great. Okay, okay. All right, Meli, how about this one? If I were you,
I would buy.
I would buy. That's great. Excellent. You got it, Meli. Okay, if I remember the other
If,
one, ay, si yo
if
fuera tú, if I
if I wasn't.
no, if I
Where?
weren't. For example, if you say si yo fuera tú, if I were you. Okay, maybe how about this one?
I would ask.
I would ask. Aha. All right, Melissa. Okay, how about this one? If I
If I met.
if I met, that's great. Excellent. Yes. Okay, and this one, if I got a PS4 for my birthday, I
I would be.
That's excellent. Okay, you got it. Okay, that's excellent. All right, Meli, you did a great, great, great job. Okay, Meli,
Thank you.
I want to know what elements in common did you see in those sentences? What
Mm,
elements?
the first part is
Huh?
in past simple,
Okay, good. And
and the second part is in present simple.
okay, kind of. You got it, kind of. But I will explain to you, okay? Well, look at
Okay.
this. Look at this sentence. If I were rich, what does it say? If I were rich.
Fuera rico.
Okay, exactly. For example, Meli, if I were rich, I would help people, poor people, to have what they need. For example, like Mr. Beast. If I were Mr. Beast, I would do the thing that he has helped a lot of people, right? If I were rich, I would buy many houses for my family, for people who need it. And if I were rich, I don't know, I would invest in I don't know, maybe in bitcoins. I don't know. Okay. What would you do if you were rich? So
I would buy
excellent.
a big house.
All right. And what else, Many? I would buy a big house. Excellent. What else?
I would buy a car.
I would buy a car. That's great. What else?
Mm, I would buy many houses for my
Uh-huh.
family.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's excellent. Okay. So pay attention. You use the past simple and then the would, right? Okay, now what happened? First of all, we have to make some differences. Okay, we have these three basic conditionals, and most of the times we confuse them. And it's normal that we confuse them because they are similar. But what's the difference between of them and how to make a difference between of them, how to difference them basically? Well, the first thing is that the zero conditional, we use it for facts, general true or scientific facts, okay? Things that we cannot change, that are true, that are real, that are like that we cannot change, okay? All right, Mary? So, and in the
Okay.
zero conditional, we use the present simple in the condition and the present simple in the result. Look at this example. If you stand in the rain, you get wet. That's a fact. Or if you hit ice, sorry, it melts. That's a fact. We cannot change that. That's the zero conditional. And you differentiate it because it uses present simple and present simple. Now, the first conditional is a little bit different. It has like a small difference. Okay, why? Because here we use it to talk about cause and consequences. It's like a prediction of a cause and a consequence. Okay, it's like a prediction. For example, if it rains, we will cancel the trip. If you study, you will pass the exam. If you don't study, you won't pass the exam. So the if clause is always with the present simple, and the second part, the result, is with the future with will. That's a simple way to make the difference. That the if clause is always in present, and the result is with will. Okay? That's the difference. And here we talk about cause and consequence. But today we are going to study the second conditional. What's the second conditional? We used to talk about hypothetical or imaginative situations like the ones that we discussed at the beginning of this lesson. So basically, we are going to talk about hypothetical or unlikely situations. And as you said, in the conditional form, we are going to use the past simple in the if clause, here, past simple, and would plus the verb. But I have to make some specific explanation here. Okay? Well, Meli, do you have any question here? Oh, it's okay.
It's okay.
All right, that's great. Because what are we going to do now? I'm going to explain to you in detail the second condition. Okay? All right? That's what we are going to do in this moment. We are going to study the second conditional. Here we go. Okay, pay attention. The second conditional, so as I told you, we use it to talk about imaginary or hypothetical situations, okay? That maybe they are very difficult to come true, like become rich, like won the baloto, I don't know, okay? For example, if I were the president of Spain, I would build more schools. Or if we won the lottery, we would buy a new house, okay? Well, or all other things. Well, here we have more examples. Why I want to show you these examples? To show you that in the if clause, we always have the past simple. Even if we invert it, we can invert it. For example, I would play the piano very good if I practiced every day. Or I would run away if I saw. So we can invert it, but always the if clause is going to be with the past simple tense. And the next one with the would, with the hypothetical conjugation. Okay, now, a lot of attention here. How do we form the second conditional? And I will repeat it. We are going to use the if past simple tense plus the would, or the would plus the if past simple tense. Okay? Now, if is, okay, we can invert it. Look at this. Wouldn't and the if past simple tense, as I already told you. Okay, now, affirmative plus negative. Lot of attention here. For example, if here, the past simple, we can use the ed column or the irregular verbs as well, all right? And the negative, so if it's negative, we have to conjugate it in negative. Didn't, weren't, or wasn't, according to the case. Okay, always the past simple made. Well, the exceptions. Here we have the exception. Remember that in the example, you always say I was, but I is always with was. Well, for the hypothetical situation, for example, like I wish or if I, all the subjects are going to use were. It's an exception in the rule. So all the subjects are going to use were. If I were, if he were, if she were, is an exception with the verb to be. And it's always going to happen in that way. Okay, Mary? Do you understand the part?
Always in for he, she, I.
For all of you, we, they, were.
Okay.
Okay? All of them. Okay, that's good, Mary. Now, look at this. For example, sorry, if I had vegetarian options, I wouldn't eat you. It's a hypothetical and real situation, all right? Okay, now, lot of attention. With this video has some examples. So I want you to pay attention to this video and to the examples. Okay, Meli? All right?
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead.
In English, we use the second conditional to talk about imagined or unreal ideas in the present and future. For instance, if I had $1 million, I would buy 1,000,000 hot dogs. Second conditionals have an if clause. The verb is in the past simple. When we use the past simple to talk about imaginary situations, we say it is in the subjunctive tense. The second part of the sentence, or the result clause, uses a modal verb, with the base form of a verb. Notice that we don't say, I would to buy, just I would buy. Let's look at another example. If I ate 1,000,000 hot dogs, I would be really fat. Once again, we use the past simple in the if clause, with the modal verb in the result clause to show that this is an imaginary situation. That's it. Visit our YouTube page to learn more about modal verbs. Visit SkypeEnglishClasses.com to learn more about our one-on-one English classes via Skype.
Tiene el micrófono apagado.
Sorry, Meli. Okay, Meli, I have a question. Do you have any question about the second conditional, Meli?
No, teacher.
All right, that's great, Meli, because now we are going to practice. Okay, Meli?
Okay.
So let's start here. Okay, look at this. If I
Had, wouldn't,
no problem. That's great, excellent. Okay, how about this one? Read the example with a
it, I want the lot, I would buy.
no problem. How about this one?
If I were,
Aha, that's great, Meli. Okay, no problem. Here,
what would found,
okay, perfect. Okay, now let's go with this one.
I wouldn't,
I wouldn't forgive. Excellent. That's great. Okay, how about this one?
would wear,
Wouldn't wear. That's great. That's great. Okay, how about this one? If I were you.
if I were you, I would tell,
That's good. Excellent. Okay, how about this one? What would you do if you?
what saw,
Great. Okay. How about this one?
if I had,
No problem. Okay, and this one?
if I were you, I would buy,
Great. That's good. Okay, what?
what would, what would,
What would? Okay. Okay, yeah. I was waiting to read the whole sentence. Okay, how about this one, Meli?
what would you do if you met?
Aha. No, Meli, perfect. I think that you really understood. But pay attention now to this, okay? Look at this, Meli. Here we go with this. A little bit more difficult, okay? So, my dear Meli.
If her hair were were black, she would look
Great, no problem. Okay, how about this one?
we
Ah,
we were we would be on the beach if we were in Mexico.
Hey, you got it. Okay, and this one?
If the water is the water. Ay, no veo la tercera, se ve muy
Oh,
chiquita.
yeah, sorry. And it's that one. It's that one, Melly, sorry. Okay, how about this one? Oh, too small, right?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay, let's obey it. I don't. It actually cannot read. If we add it. I got it. Okay. How about, oh no, these ones are too small. Okay, this one.
If it would be nice, it were nice,
Mhm.
it would start. It would be nice. It start right.
So which one? B?
B.
B? Yes?
Yes.
No. If
Um.
it would be nice, it would be nice if it started. Past simple.
Okay.
Okay? All right. How about this one?
I I would sing you a song if I B.
B. That's great. Okay, okay. You are doing it good. Okay. Oh, this one is too small. Too small, too small. This one.
His car safer if he would
Mhm.
buy B.
B. No, his
A.
car would be safer
Safer
if
if
he
he bought.
bought. Okay, and this one?
What what would you do if you saw A?
Aha. Great, Melly. Okay, and this one?
You you would sell A.
Oh, no. Would you and have? Would you have and sold? Okay.
Okay.
All right. How about this one?
I will tell you if I B.
That's great. Excellent. No, darling, you got it. Okay. All right. So here we have a summary. All right. Remember, the if, always with the past simple. It doesn't matter if it's negative. And the second part with the would and wouldn't. All right. Okay. Well,
Okay.
difficult?
No.
It's extremely simple, right? Okay.
Yes.
Now, we are going to practice a little bit more. Look at this. What would you do? It's a short listening. I want you to listen and read this part, okay? Pay attention to the situation, all right? It's a situation,
Okay.
a ethical dilemma. Here we go. One,
Unit
two, and
15.
three.
I wouldn't have done that. Page 100. Exercise 2. Conversation. What would you do? Part A. Listen and practice.
Look at this. A homeless guy found a backpack with $40,000 inside.
And what did he do?
He took it to the police. He gave it all back, every single penny.
You're kidding. If I found $40,000, I wouldn't return it. I'd keep it.
Really? What would you do with it?
Well, I'd spend it. I could buy a new car or take a nice long vacation.
The real owner might find out about it, though, and then you could go to jail.
You've got a point there.
All right, all right. Okay, what's the situation about?
He found the money.
He found money. And what happened with the money?
He, how do you say, regresó?
Return.
Returned to the police.
Uh-huh. He returned to the police. And there is a question, yes? What would you do if he found the $40,000? And the question is for you now. What would you do
Okay.
if you
If it
found the
depends,
money? About
but
what?
but but if I saw the person
Ah,
that you, how do you say? Que se le, o sea, si vi
The,
que se le cayó.
okay, if you saw the owner of the money.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So I return.
I would
I would return the uh,
the
money.
money. Okay, so you will
Yes.
return it. And if you didn't see it, you will keep it for you.
Yes.
Okay, that's a lot of money. All right. Now, you are going to answer the question. What would June do if he found the money? Okay, so listen the second
Page
part.
100. Exercise 2. Part B. Listen to the rest of the conversation. What would June do if he found $40,000?
So, what would you do if you found $40,000?
Oh, you know me. I hate breaking rules, and I'd feel nervous about keeping the money, so I'd take it straight to the police.
I guess that wouldn't be such a bad idea. Maybe you'd be lucky and the owner of the money would give you a big reward.
Well, they say honesty is its own reward. But I could use a new bike.
Okay, so what would he do if he found the money?
He first he would return the money to the police.
Okay, uh-huh. All
But
right, uh-huh.
also he would buy a new bike.
Okay, all right. He would buy a new bike. Excellent. You got it, Melly. Difficult?
No.
Okay, so here we go with this. The second part, because this now then we are going to talk, okay? Look at this. We are going now to listen to three people talk about predicaments. Predicaments is basically like a ethical dilemma, right? And you are going to check, this one is a little bit more difficult. You are going to check which predicament they are talking about, okay? Which one are they talking about? And you are going to write two suggestions given for each predicament. So you have to take notes, okay? So read the questions, read the predicaments, take 30 seconds to do it, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go. So let's start this and we can repeat it, don't worry.
Page
Here we go.
101. Exercise 4. Listening. Tough situations. Part A. Listen to three people talk about predicaments. Check which predicament they are talking about. 1.
You know, I'm really worried about Chris.
Why?
Well, this may sound silly, but he spends too much time on the internet. I think he might be addicted to it.
Really? Why do you think so?
We went to the movies yesterday, and during the whole movie he was on his phone. He couldn't even take a 2-hour break to watch this movie he's wanted to see. Then I suggested we go to the mountains this weekend for a hike, and he said no. He said if he didn't have Wi-Fi service in the mountains, he wouldn't go.
Wow, that is pretty bad. We all need time away from technology.
So, what would you do if you were in my position? Would you say something to him?
I wouldn't tell him he has a problem. He wouldn't like that. I would continue to suggest activities that don't involve the internet. He can't say no forever. Oh, I would be honest and tell him what I think. He will make excuses until you're direct with him. It's a problem that could affect his relationships with other people, and he needs to know that.
2.
I just got an email from my friend Carrie. She lost all her money on vacation in Europe. Isn't that horrible? Yeah, that's terrible. Blake, what would you do if you were on vacation overseas and you lost all your money and credit cards?
I guess I'd call my parents and ask them to send me some money right away. What about you, Zoe?
Yeah, I'd probably do the same thing. Though I guess I'd probably sell my watch and camera. Or I might get a job as a waitress somewhere till I made enough money to buy a plane ticket home.
3.
You know, something happened to me this morning, and I don't know what I should do.
What happened?
Well, I was taking a test in math, and I saw two classmates cheating in front of me.
How were they cheating?
Well, I heard some noise, so I looked over there, and they both were looking at their arms. Their arms had writing all over them.
Oh, so they wrote the answers on their arms?
Yeah, and then after class, they were laughing and talking all about it. What would you do if you saw two people cheating on a test?
If I were in your position, I would talk to the teacher. I would tell him what you saw and ask him not to say that you told him. It's not fair if they get a good grade and they didn't spend any time studying like you did.
I wouldn't get involved. I would pretend I didn't see anything. It's not your business, and sooner or later they'll get caught.
Okay. All right. You got it?
No, repeat.
Let's repeat it? Okay, don't worry. We can repeat it. Don't worry. Here we go.
Page 101. Exercise 4. Listening. Tough situations. Part A. Listen to 3 people talk about predicaments. Check which predicament they are talking about. 1.
You know, I'm really worried about Chris.
Why?
Well, this may sound silly, but he spends too much time on the internet. I think he might be addicted to it.
Really? Why do you think so?
We went to the movies yesterday, and during the whole movie he was on his phone. He couldn't even take a 2-hour break to watch this movie he's wanted to see. Then I suggested we go to the mountains this weekend for a hike, and he said no. He said if he didn't have Wi-Fi service in the mountains, he wouldn't go.
Wow, that is pretty bad. We all need time away from technology.
So, what would you do if you were in my position? Would you say something to him?
I wouldn't tell him he has a problem. He wouldn't like that. I would continue to suggest activities that don't involve the internet. He can't say no forever.
Oh, I would be honest and tell him what I think. He will make excuses until you're direct with him. It's a problem that could affect his relationships with other people, and he needs to know that.
2.
I just got an email from my friend Carrie. She lost all her money on vacation in Europe. Isn't that horrible?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Blake, what would you do if you were on vacation overseas and you lost all your money and credit cards?
I guess I'd call my parents and ask them to send me some money right away. What about you, Zoe?
Yeah, I'd probably do the same thing. Though I guess I'd probably sell my watch and camera. Or I might get a job as a waitress somewhere till I made enough money to buy a plane ticket home.
3.
You know, something happened to me this morning, and I don't know what I should do.
What happened?
Well, I was taking a test in math, and I saw two classmates cheating in front of me.
How were they cheating?
Well, I heard some noise, so I looked over there, and they both were looking at their arms. Their arms had writing all over them.
Oh, so they wrote the answers on their arms?
Yeah, and then after class, they were laughing and talking all about it. What would you do if you saw two people cheating on a test?
If I were in your position, I would talk to the teacher. I would tell him what you saw and ask him not to say that you told him. It's not fair if they get a good grade and they didn't spend any time studying like you did.
I wouldn't get involved. I would pretend I didn't see anything. It's not your business, and sooner or later they'll get caught.
Okay. Tell me, what's the first predicament?
The first, Chris is addicted to the internet.
Uh-huh. And what is the suggestion given? The two suggestions.
Chris, where Chris would
Ajá.
would go out
Ajá.
with his friends.
Ajá.
And
Okay.
Chris would do exercise.
Uh-huh. That's great. Okay. Now, what about you? If you were addicted to the internet, what would you do?
Mm, I I
Mm.
would control, como controlar, control,
Ajá.
control the time that I spend in internet.
Ajá. Okay, that's great. Excellent. All right. That's good. Okay. Well, now, how about the second predicament?
Carrie lost all her money in Europe.
Uh-huh. She lost all her money here, right? Okay, what are the two suggestions?
And she would help
Uh-huh.
to her family or friends,
Uh-huh.
or she she would go to the police.
Uh-huh. Okay, all right. What would you do if you lost all your money in another country? You're wearing vacations.
And first, I would go to the police.
Uh-huh. Okay. All
And
right.
second, I would call
Uh-huh.
for my family.
Okay. All right. That's great. That's good. Okay, Meli, how about the third one?
What?
How about the third predicament?
Um, Zoe saw her classmates cheating.
Uh-huh. Okay. So what is cheating?
Copiarse.
Ajá, como hacer trampa, right? Okay.
Machete.
Ajá. What are the two suggestions?
And she would tell with your teacher.
Okay, okay, all right. And what would you do if you saw your classmate cheating?
I would do nothing.
So you would keep in silence, right?
Yes.
Okay. No, we say, okay. All right. That's great. Difficult?
No?
It's extremely simple, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's moment to practice a little bit. Okay?
Okay.
But, oh, sorry, give me a second. But I have a question. Okay, what is the idea of the practice? First one in grammar, okay? And the other part in speaking, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to go back to the first exercise. I told you that we will do it again, okay? So now
Okay.
we are going to evaluate you. We are going to evaluate your results, okay? Based on the explanation, all right?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. All right.
If I had
Perfect. No problem. Here.
if I won the lottery, I would buy.
Excellent. Here.
If I were you,
Great. That's great. Okay, how about this one?
what would you do if you found a
That's
wallet?
good. Excellent. Okay, how about this one?
I wouldn't.
That's great. Okay, this one.
If I were not busy, I too wow would go.
That's great, Melly. No, darling, you're doing it good. Okay, how about this one?
If I were you, I would tell.
That's great. Okay, let's go with this one.
What would you do if you saw
Great, that's
her?
great. Yes, my dear. Okay, how about this one?
If I had time,
Mm-hmm.
I would help you.
Wonderful. And here,
If I were you, I would buy this hat.
wonderful. Okay, and here,
If I were him,
okay, good. Okay, and here,
if I met Anadi, I would ask.
that's good. Okay, here,
If I met,
that's excellent. Okay, and here,
if I gave, if I gave a piece for my birthday, I would be.
okay, that's great. Okay, perfect this time. You see, you got it. I think you got it, right? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, now let's go with the question. But for this question, my dear Mary, you are going to have time to prepare your answer. Why? Because you are not going to give me a direct answer. You are going to argument. Okay? That's what you are going to do. Okay? All right? Okay.
Okay.
Look at this. This is the question. What would you do if you had superpowers for one day? I'm going to give you exactly 2 minutes to prepare your answer, but a really good answer. I need that you argument. Okay? All right? What would you do if you had superpowers for one day? Okay? All right? You got it?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay. Here we go with the timer. Look at this. I'm going to do it like this. 1, 2, 3. Start preparing your answer, my dear. Okay. Let's go ahead, Meli. give your best. What would you do if you had superpowers for one day? Come on, Mary. You can do it, darling. Mary, hello. All right.
Okay. If I have superpower for one day, I would like to teleport to Italy for to get now that country.
What else? Come on, you can give me
And
more.
and to know many places in that country.
Okay, all right. So you would be a tourist.
Yes.
Okay, my dear. Remember that the second conditional is always going to be the past simple tense in the if and the word in the second one. Okay? All right. Do you
Okay.
have questions?
No.
All right, my dear. Good job. You did a great, great, great job. Okay? All right?
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, my dear. Have a beautiful night and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, teacher. Goodbye.
You're welcome. Goodbye.